Hey guys, my name is Crystal Olisa. Thank you so much for dropping by. Be sure to subscribe for more great content. Today's video is one that I am low-key ashamed to be making, but I feel like it's so important that you learn from my mistakes as we close out 2020. This was my last mistake of 2020. Hopefully none to be made in 2021, so I am optimistic because this was resolved and I can actually talk about it now without like spiraling into a low-key panic attack. So yeah, let's discuss it. So in today's video, we're going to be discussing my entire Black Friday experience, which literally revolves around one thing. I had promised myself that I wouldn't make any purchases this Black Friday, that I'd be very disciplined with my money. And then the second I get the opportunity to, I bought a TV. So this is why that was a really huge mistake. Thank God I was able to resolve it and like return it and get my money back. So I was sort of in limbo, in a very broke state of limbo for a minute. But I'm glad it was all resolved, so now I can actually talk you through why I bought the Infinix X1 43-inch TV and why I returned it. Because apparently, as much as I've been complaining about my UKA all year, literally I've been fantasizing about replacing this TV all year long. The second I decide to try to, everything goes wrong. So it's been one of those months. Like I literally bought it at the end of December. I'll just have the timestamps and whatever, like the purchase dates, because literally the day it arrived, I initiated the return with Jumia. So yeah, I'll just have all of that on the screen so you can actually see it for yourself. But also this is sort of a review of the Jumia return process because it was significantly simpler than I expected it to be. And I'm really happy about that. So at least I want to give you hope that even if you do buy something and it actually doesn't work for you, you can return it and you can get your money back. I don't really think I've ever heard anyone talking about the Jumia like return refund policy. And also the only places I've seen it mentioned is like in comments where people can't get their money back. So I was pretty panicked about it, but let's rewind from the beginning. Again, I am saying the TV is the only thing about Black Friday because the dishwasher was before Black Friday and it wasn't even discounted on Black Friday. So yeah, I'm really glad about that I have no regrets about. But the TV, I saw this TV going for $25.99. So I thought maybe this is an opportunity to upgrade. You know, it's an Android TV. I've been thinking about getting an Android TV all year long because when I bought my UKA TV, I barely knew the difference between a digital and a smart TV. I just knew that I wanted YouTube, so I went smart. Then my friend has a TCL TV, and I really like the interface and the way it works and all of that, and her YouTube works consistently, so I thought, why not get an Android TV? But the TCL is about 30,000 for 40 inches, and now that I've gotten used to my 43 inches, I don't really want to go down in size, you know? So when I saw the Infinix X1 being advertised as 25,999, I thought, perfect, it's 43 inches, it's still full HD, Android TV. The only thing that's different between my UKA and that TV would be the Android TV aspect. And I was thinking if I can sell this TV that I have, it's literally behind the camera. If I can sell this TV for about 20,000 shillings, I would be happy to eat the cost of 6,000 shillings just to be able to like finally get it off my mind, like get it off my plate, just like have it all sorted, right? So hurdle number one is I could not get my TV sold. I don't know what the problem was. I thought putting it up at 20 for 43-inch smart TV is like a really good deal. No one bid. No one was interested. People were offering me like 15. Then I thought, okay, maybe I can go down to like 18,000. Then I even had like, I had the idea to like post it in the estate group because it's like a lot of people. So I was thinking one person must be interested, and one person was interested. But then at that point I was thinking, if I'm going to sell this at such a good deal, because it's perfectly functional. The only issue is YouTube. And honestly, that's a me issue because my uncle has the exact same TV and they connect theirs to DSTV all the time and it works perfectly. So it's a perfectly functional TV. I didn't see a reason why I should take that big a hit on what I initially paid for it, especially because I literally bought it in January, so technically it's still under warranty, right? So when I saw that it was only going for 18, I decided to just call my grandparents and be like, yo, if I'm gonna sell this thing at a really like stupidly discounted price, I'd rather sell it to you guys, right? So I offered it to them at 15,000 and they're like, yes, that would be perfect because they have a 32-inch and they want a 43-inch, and I would have loved to just give it to them, but like my financial situation does not allow me to just like forget 15,000 shillings. So I was like, I can go as low as 15 for you and forego the sale of 18 because I don't really feel good about letting it go at such a good deal for no other reason other than a quick sale. But the reason I needed to sell it is because on the Monday I had seen the Infinix TV deal and I had put it in my cart as I was thinking about it. Then by the time Wednesday came around, I finally decided that I wanted it and I was just going to close my eyes and order it. So I was going to order it and then like sort of pay myself back once I'd sold the Uka TV. Then the Uka TV was not selling. That's why I just kept going like a little bit lower and lower and lower in price, right? But then by the Wednesday, I woke up Wednesday morning and the thing was like removed from my cart. Like it wasn't like gone, but it was listed in my cart as no longer available. So I was so heartbroken. I was like really disappointed, but also like kind of relieved because then I don't have to actually spend my money and I don't have to list my TV. Actually, yeah, at that point, I hadn't listed my TV. So I wanted to list my TV the day that I hit the buy button just because I wanted to make sure that I was 100% sure that I was ready to part with this one because the other one was coming, right? Because it didn't make sense for me to list it on Monday and then get a buyer on Tuesday and then I haven't even ordered the new TV, So, yeah, I kind of wanted them to overlap each other. So as one is being taken away, one is being delivered, and then I'm not like even one night without a TV because it's not even that I watch TV that often, but then I just like having options, So, yeah, on Wednesday, woke up, TV was gone, TV was no longer in stock. I guess it had run out or whatever. But I was sad, but I was also so relieved. Like I'm one of those people who I don't want to spend money. Like I felt like it was the universe telling me, Crystal, just relax. It's fine. You don't need to spend this money. You don't need to take any hits anywhere. Like there'll be another deal down the line. Like if it's meant to be, it's meant to be, So I just thought there'll be another deal down the line and it's fine. And I was okay with that. But then I didn't like delete it from my cart. So I actually took the money I was going to spend on that and like I put it aside in different savings things. And I was like, oh my gosh, and I actually have a buffer. I'm starting my emergency fund. Like, look at me. Woke up Thursday morning. It was back in my cart. Woke up Thursday morning to actually buy something else on Jumia. Like there's a hair coloring thing I want to try. And then I see there are two things in my cart. And I'm like, wait, what do you mean? And I go and I see the TV is back in stock. Now I have to really have conversations with myself because it's like, okay, I was relieved yesterday when it went out of stock, right? But then at the same time, this is something that's been bothering me literally all year. I feel like I've been complaining about my TV for a minute now. And if it only cost me 6,000 shillings to fix this problem permanently, then why wouldn't I? Like, it doesn't make any sense, right? Like, try to follow my reasoning with me as I dig myself into this hole, which I am so grateful to have gotten myself out of, right? So, yeah, eventually I saw it and I was like, you know what, if it's back in stock, it's probably just back in stock for like a hot minute. And if I don't jump on it, then I'll miss out. So yeah, I was willing to because now it was in stock on Jumia, but that particular seller had gone out of stock. So the other sellers were selling it for like 29,000, 31,000. So I was like, it's already a savings and I'm also not paying like the full amount myself. So I'm getting 15,000 towards this. So adding 10,000 is a lot more, 11,000 technically, is a lot more than I had initially wanted to. But then I thought maybe it's worth it. Maybe this can, maybe, like I felt like the universe was speaking to me. Literally, the wind will blow and I'll be like, the universe is telling me to shop. So yeah, that is my personal shortcoming. So I ended up buying it. I didn't even end up buying the hair coloring thing, which I will be bringing to you like sometime next year. I just felt like priorities. I need to like reduce the amount that I'm spending. So no more frivolous anythings. I just focus on the TV. So I bought it with the option to pay for it on delivery. And then I immediately put my TV up for sale. Now that was on Thursday morning. Friday, no deals. Saturday, no deals until I reduced the price down to 18 and also posted it in the community group. Then someone was interested. But then she kept taking, so she was out of town. So she sent her son to look at it. But we've been talking from 2 p.m. It's now 6 p.m. The guy literally is my neighbor and he hasn't come by to look at it. So that's when I called my grandparents and I was like, you know what? If I'm going to let go of this at like such a good deal, I'd rather sell it to you guys than to just like random strangers, right? So, yeah, they were like, yes, we'll take it. No, cancel the other appointment. We 100% want it. So I was like, yes, but this sale is conditional on whatever happens with the other TV. So it is being delivered today. I was on the phone with Jumia literally all day because they were supposed to deliver my other TV on Friday. They ran out of time, I guess, and just stopped answering their calls after 6 p.m. So again, on Saturday, it was 6 p.m. again. And the previous delivery, which they failed to deliver, they didn't even come to my place. They just kept saying, oh, we're in Siokimau, we're in this other area. Like, we are on our way to you. you and then they just didn't come and didn't call and didn't do anything, that was counted as a failed delivery. So if they fail to deliver again on this Saturday, then I would be screwed. My order would be cancelled. I haven't paid for it, so I 100% would never see that TV again. And then I'd be like pining for it, like wondering what could have been. You know, like I'm one of those people who I want to bite the bullet. I want to make that mistake, so at least I know that I'm not missing out on anything, right? Versus like having the TV on a pedestal. Like if I only had that TV, my life would have meaning. You know, like I'm glad now that I have the answer that TV is just not the TV for me. But yeah, I really didn't want to miss out on it. So I was on the phone with Jumia literally every 10 minutes. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? And they kept saying they're coming. Eventually they came. So at around 6:30, my TV was delivered. Literally by 8 p.m., I knew I wanted to return it. The TV itself is beautiful. It works really well, but there are some crucial issues that I just could not overlook. So if let me tell you, all of these problems boil down to YouTube. I want to get rid of my perfectly functioning Uka TV because the YouTube app is not really working. On the Infinix TV, the Android YouTube app is working perfectly, but it doesn't have the option to speed up videos. And when I listen to a video at like normal speeds, I feel like my soul is dying. I feel like time is suffocating me. It feels like such a great waste of time. So I have to listen to videos like ×2 on YouTube. And if I don't have that speed control, then it's just not worth it to me. So I tried everything. The app was fully up to date, so it wasn't like an update that was missing. There was no other version of YouTube on the Android Play Store on the TV. There was no other app for YouTube that I could download. Like I literally had to download a third-party player, and then every video I want to watch, I have to share it to that player and then play it in that video and then come back to YouTube to watch another. Like it would have ended up being such a cumbersome method, but that's the only solution that I found for it online, right? So if this issue wasn't an issue, because like I said, my friend has a TCL TV. I think I read somewhere recently that TCL isn't even an Android TV, it's a Roku TV, which is probably why the YouTube is different. So I even had her like take a picture of her TV and just show me what the settings are so that I can see what I'm missing, because maybe there was like some other hidden Android-y thing that I wasn't figuring out. And no, the button was just missing. You just cannot speed up YouTube on that TV. And let me tell you, I overlooked connecting to Bluetooth and it being glitchy. I overlooked the TV refusing to connect to my phone to do the automatic setup. I overlooked the TV refusing to connect to its own Infinix app, literally the same company, that would turn my phone into a remote control for the TV and also give me the Google talking speech thing. Like I would have overlooked all of that if YouTube was working. And it was not. And I was heartbroken. I was so sad. Like I did a whole unboxing video, but then I feel like you could just hear my levels of excitement going down and down and down and down, because it's basically the exact same TV. Like I'm paying 11,000 shillings for exactly what I already have, with a slow YouTube. Like at least even this TV, when the YouTube eventually decides to work, I do have a speed function there and I have it permanently set on ×2. So every time I log in, it's just automatic. And I'll literally take that in a YouTube app on a TV where it only works like once every 6 months versus a normal speed YouTube app that always works but doesn't have a speed function. Like I literally could not, and I could not breathe, because then I'm thinking back to all the comments that I've read that people have had issues with their TVs and issues with other things, and Jumia is just useless in helping them, and like they're so angry that they made this purchase, and just all those comments just kept like flooding back to me, and I'm like, I do not want to be one of these people, right? So I was first of all really grateful that I canceled the other appointment and I didn't immediately sell my TV, because at that point there's really no way to get it back, right? So I would have been stuck with this mistake. I immediately took up the next morning, because this was a Saturday evening, I got so frustrated, I went to bed. Literally at like 9 p.m. I was like, you know what, if I sit here trying to beg you to actually work for me, like I'm just going to lose my shit. So there's no point. Let me just go to bed, deal with you in the morning. But then that same night, I did create the return request. And in the return request, because it's very short, they don't give you like a lot of words to explain your issues. So what I mentioned as my issues are all those other things that I would have been willing to overlook if at all the YouTube was working, because the TV does have Bluetooth, which is freaking amazing. But then like I have a video of it, but I don't think it captured it quite clearly. It's like you see the way I'm talking like smoothly now and you can hear me now. Then when I connect it to the Bluetooth, it's like like it doesn't make sense. Like I can't understand anything they're saying. Then when I disconnect it and go back to the TV, it's smooth talking. So it's little connectivity issues like that made me think like maybe there's a card in the TV that's spoiled or something. So it claims to to have Google voice control, but the TV or the remote doesn't have speakers, so you can't actually talk into them. You have to use the Infinix app for you to use the Google voice control thing, Google Assistant, whatever it's called, right? But the TV and the app are not connecting for whatever reason, because the Bluetooth on my phone and the TV were finding each other just fine. Bluetooth on the TV and my Bluetooth speaker were finding each other just fine, even though the connection was shaky. But with the app, it would not work. So the most advertised thing is like the Google Assistant thing, and it wasn't working. There was no way for me to make it work. So that's one of the things that I mentioned in my return request, as well as like the Bluetooth connectivity issues. I just basically gave a list of all the things that made me unhappy about it, and I do have screenshots of everything, and I'm thanking God I did, because the return process is such a shit show. Like, I don't even know. I don't know. I feel like they make it as difficult as possible for you to return anything just to frustrate you, you know, which is why I wasn't very optimistic about actually getting my money back, which is why about a week after I'd initiated this return, I actually said, like, sort of mentally getting myself ready to like have the return rejected and have to like go and collect a TV and just have to like make a deal with a TV. So I'm like, am I going to now give my grandparents this brand new TV and just keep the Uka, because there's really no point? Like, it wasn't of use to me. That is the level of frustration I had gotten to, but it worked out. On Saturday, I created the return request because I knew it wouldn't be like immediate, because it's like 8 p.m., right? Sunday morning, I woke up and I was like, let me try resetting the TV and see if anything is different. Maybe the YouTube will work. Like, fingers crossed. I was really desperate to make this work. So I reset the TV, and now the Bluetooth was working perfectly fine. Like, there was no issue yesterday, right? So this is why I start getting worried even more, because I'm like, okay, I've already submitted my return request, including the Bluetooth connectivity issues, that it was glitchy. But now that I've reset the TV and started this whole process again, it is finding my phone to do the automatic setup with the Google account, and it does have a functional Bluetooth. Like, the Bluetooth connectivity is actually stable. So I was like, I don't want them to test those two functions and be like, oh, she must have been lying just to return the TV, right? Because in the Jumia return form, you actually have to state why you're returning, and it can't just be I changed my mind, because if it's I changed my mind, then you need to make sure the package is unopened, like you haven't messed with it in any way, the packaging is still pristine, and then they'll give you your money back, right? But if you cut it open, look at it, and then change your mind, like, you don't get to return it just because of that. So I had to be very clear in my return that I thought the item was faulty, which it was. I was not lying. That first day, that Bluetooth did not work. The connectivity did not work. Even on Sunday, it still refused to connect to the app, so I still couldn't use Google Assistant, and I was really grateful I had like bumped that up to like the first problem that I mentioned, because I hope that's like the first thing they test. And then when they actually see that there is no Google Assistant on this TV, like, it has the little button option in the corner, and you can click on it, and then it tells you talk, and then you talk. And I was like yelling at my TV, and there was nothing happening, you know? It was just an overall frustrating experience with the TV. I do recommend it if the YouTube thing isn't important to you, but what I noticed is that the Play Store is also very lackluster. Like, it doesn't have very many apps. One of the things that I love about my current setup is that I have my TV that is a smart TV, but then I also have my Android box. Now, my Android box gets a whole bunch of Google Play Store apps, so I can use one for night mode that actually dims the TV quite a bit down and like adds a lot of warmth and like sepia tones to it, so that I don't get like blue light headaches, right? But now with this new TV, because I can't find the app in the Play Store, and even when I do find a similar app in the Play Store, I can't make it work, because when I open it, it tells me, oh, you need to access your accessibility settings for you to activate this app, and then I go to accessibility and it's not opening. So it was just a whole shit show with that TV. And I couldn't make it work. I couldn't like make it dim, so I knew that at night I wouldn't be able to watch TV at all, because like bright lights make me nauseated, really. So that's not really how I want to prepare for bed. So I was quite disappointed. So the Sunday is when I like gave it a final shot, and I decided, you know what, this is never gonna work. The YouTube is never gonna work, therefore I am never going to be okay with any of these other issues. Though I will say having Bluetooth on your TV is pretty freaking sweet. My Bluetooth speaker here, this is the Anchor, very, very good quality. This literally sounded like a sound bar, and I'll keep it like close to me, so my audio was incredible for just like that one literally 1 hour of testing it. But I didn't feel like that was a good enough reason to hang on to the TV that had disappointed me in every other possible way. So back to Saturday, when I created the return request, it actually asks you if you want the item picked up from your house or if you want to drop it off at a drop-off center. So because I knew that on Sunday I'd be visiting my uncle literally for the whole week, I decided to choose that I would drop it off at a drop-off center, and I chose Karen because they are on Gong Road, right? So here's where the return headache begins, because I chose Karen drop-off point. I took a screenshot of that screen because I wanted to make for damn sure that I drop it off at the correct place, right? Actually, also, I was going to my shipping people to get my amber bottles, and they're right next to the drop-off point, so I was like, 2 stones for 1, why not, right? So I go to Karen and drop it off. Now, when I arrive there, they tell me they don't have a return ticket associated with my TV. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean? And they're like, yeah, we didn't know this was supposed to be returned. Luckily, it wasn't an issue. Like, Chakma, Karen, thank you. I think his name was Mushai or something. Mushami, something, I don't know. He was amazing. He was really, really helpful. He just said, I just drop it off. He called like his supervisor, I guess, and they're like, yeah, we can manually create a return label for you. As long as your details are over there, it will be associated to your return request, right? So I was like, perfect, this is great. I don't get like a receipt or a tick or anything that shows that I actually brought my TV to you. Then it's like, no, you just drop it off and you go. And I was like, someone could literally decide that Crystal didn't return a TV here. This never happened, and could just decide like, oh, no, we never received it. And that's how like they get a free TV, So I actually got my dash cam footage of me walking, like removing the TV from the boot and walking it into the shop, and kept it aside just in case. This is how badly I was expecting things to go. Like, this is how much I expected to have to escalate things. Thank God I did not. They were helpful. They were amazing. That same Monday afternoon, I get a phone call from someone, and he's like, I'm at your house. And I'm like, are you lost? Who are you looking for? And it's like, aren't you Crystal? Then I'm like, yes. And he's like, I'm at your house. I'm like, what are you doing at my house? And it's like, oh, I'm here to pick the TV. I'm like, I requested to return this TV. I didn't request for it to come and be collected. It's like, oh, okay, fine. And then he hung up. So that was one of the Jumia riders who had been sent to this house when I am on Gong Road to pick the TV. So that was Monday afternoon. Thought that was weird, but then I was like, you know what? It's fine. I've already returned it. Hopefully they can sort it out in their system, right? Tuesday morning, I get an email from Jumia that it's been 2 business days. It hasn't. A, Sunday is not a working day. B, I did return the TV on Monday. That means the return label wasn't actually created the same day. C, how can you be telling me on Tuesday morning that you're canceling my return? Like, that doesn't make any sense because I no longer have the TV with me. Like, the levels of freak out, like the roller coaster I was on with this whole journey was just like quite a hot mess. But on Tuesday, now my mistake was on Monday. I didn't even bother getting like their phone number because I thought if push comes to shove, their phone number should be online, so I should be able to call them. No such luck. So I had to like drive back, but thank God it was just like a 10-minute distance from like Ngongro to Karen, so not too far. But then I did have to drive back there and be like, yo, what is going on? Because I'm getting oh yes, so I got the phone call on Monday, panic. Email on Tuesday that the return has been cancelled, and then I called Jumia itself because I couldn't get a hold of that particular drop-off station, and the person was so rude and so unhelpful. He's like, you know what, you made a mistake when you opted to return the TV to us. When you have something dropped off to you, you're supposed to have it collected. What were you thinking, Suji? What? I was like, first of all, why are you speaking to me like this? I literally have the screenshot pulled up on my computer because at that time I was at home, and I was like, I chose. You gave me the option, so if it wasn't an option, why did you give it to me, and why did your system accept it? Like, no, if you want to know if you made a mistake, yes, you made a mistake, so now we're going to try to rectify it for you. I'm going to send someone to your house, and I'm like, I don't have the TV anymore, I've already returned it. No, if you can go back and collect it from wherever it is you took it, that's the better, and then I'll send someone to your house, and this time, please try to make sure that you're in the house for collection. And I'm like, you don't need to speak to me like this, first of all. This was completely unhelpful. Like, I was wishing they had asked me to like rate my customer service experience, because for the first time in my life, I'd actually rate it like a -1 and be like, this person is an asshole. Whatever his problem is today does not need to be taken out on me, So I actually drove back to Chakma that same day, and I wanted to talk to them and see what the solution is. Like, could they create the ticket there as I was waiting? Because as much as the return had been cancelled, I was still well within the 7 or 14 days return window, so I could just immediately initiate another one, right? So I drove to Chakma, and as I was driving there, I guess they created the ticket and they did everything, because when I arrived, the guy was like, it's done. done. It's returned. And I checked my email because this time I'd actually transferred the screenshots from my computer to my phone to actually show them that I had chosen you as my return point, right? So when I arrived there, he was like, it's done. I'm sorry you had a bad experience with the customer service guy, but we've put it through the system. Everything is fine. So I checked my email and I got an email asking me to rate my collection driver. And I'm like, what is happening? Like, this is now a Tuesday morning email that, oh, your return has been initiated. This is after the one telling me like, okay, so at 10:30, I get an email saying your return has been cancelled. At 11, I get an email saying your return has been initiated. At 11:30, I get an email saying, rate your collection driver. So I'm like, what drugs is your system on? Like, what is going on? Because I arrived at Trackma at around 12 and he was like, everything is done. So that's when I checked my email and just got all of them at once. And I'm like, what's happening? So he was like, oh, your return driver is probably me. So you can rate me because he's on who had like received the package. Either way, it was in the system. So he said that it was actually in the back office. So it hadn't actually been returned yet. But as they have received it, it counts as part of that 48-hour window period. Because they said I have 3 business days to return it. And then after literally 1 day, they're like, oh, your return has been cancelled. Like, none of that made any sense. So I was very stressed out, as you can imagine, because then I have to tell my grandparents that the TV is no longer available. I have to thank God that I didn't sell it to like a stranger in advance because I was so sure about this TV, because then I'd have to cough up even more money to like get a proper functioning TV, you know? So yeah, at the end of the day, on Tuesday, my return was finally processed. And then a week later, so I asked him, like, what is the process from here? So he was like, you'll just keep checking your account and, like, they'll update the status there. And then I guess they'll communicate it to you after they have, like, done their investigation or whatever. Because the item goes back to a warehouse and someone actually tests it to make sure that it actually is defective the way you have said it is defective. And then they decide if they're going to refund you or return the TV to you. Now, the problem is I had been planning to travel. So this was all happening at the beginning of December. I'm still in Nairobi clearly now. But then I thought I would be out of town by the time they resolved it because I don't know how their business days work, right? So it's between 7 to 10 business days. So I was thinking like it would take them 2 weeks to get back to me because business days are Monday to Friday. So 2 Monday to Fridays are 10 days. So I thought after the 10 days is when I can expect to hear back from them. But I was pleasantly surprised because on Tuesday is when I had all of this drama. And then exactly 1 week later, I wake up to an M-Pesa message that you have received 26,000 something. Yeah, whatever. You have received X amount from Jumia. I think they even refunded like the delivery fee. So you have received whatever amount, 26,000 whatever from Jumia. And I was excited. I was ecstatic. I was relieved. I literally could have cried tears of joy at that point just because of all the drama and the roller coaster and just... yeah, it's been a long first month of December. It's been a long Black Friday, essentially. And yeah, I feel like I don't have anything against that specific TV, but if you're like me and you're buying it for the consumption of media, I don't understand why the YouTube they offer would not have that option. So yeah, I feel like if you're into the Infinix TV and you don't have a TV, or you're upgrading from a different size to that size, maybe that one could work for you because the Uka isn't really available anymore. It's not like I have something against the Infinix X1 TV. I think it's beautiful. The interface was so wonderful. One of the things I had really wanted is that you could play games through the Infinix app on the phone and like use it as a controller. And because the controller and the TV were not finding each other, that also wasn't an option available to me. And those are some of the things that were selling me on it. You know, like let's actually upgrade my TV experience all round versus just having something I can plug my hard drive into and like watch things, you know? At the end of the day, that TV did not work for me. But if all of these issues that I'm saying are just nitpicking to you and maybe you're upgrading, like when I was upgrading from my 24-inch TV to this 43-inch TV, you could not tell me anything. The Uka was where it's at, like the Uka was everything, right? So I did strongly feel that everyone should just like jump straight to an Android TV and not get a smart TV. But now that I have experienced an Android TV and like seen its limitations, because if I can't dim my TV to something usable at night, then not only is a TV not taking me forward, but it's actually actively taking me backwards. So I have a newfound appreciation for my Uka TV and for my Android box. The combination is just a winner. I love it. I have like a new wave of gratitude for this TV, and I'm gonna keep it for a minute until I can eventually upgrade to like a 65-inch TV, and then I will go to a shop and like actually test it out before before I buy it. I have seen reviews where people have bought the X1 TV and the app does connect. I saw one review of a guy whose app did not work, and he was like, oh, that's just a small issue. Like, no, it's actually one of the services they are advertising, and if it doesn't work, then that is a defective TV, you know? So yeah, I was just really relieved that I was able to sort it out. I was so happy I was able to return it and just like be done with that. So I am not buying anything else for the rest of the year. I can officially say it. Someone actually commented and she was like, haha, you keep saying you're not buying anything for Black Friday, but like watch this space. And I was like, you know what, I hope I won't have to eat my words. I'm eating my words. I bought a TV and I regretted it and I returned it, got my money back, thank Jesus. So yeah, things are good now. Things are a-okay, especially going into the new year. Like, there are things that I need to be saving up for, so it just wasn't wise for me to be like throwing my money at a TV. But anyway, so I'm just gonna end this video here. Thank you so much for listening to my low-key mini rant and for learning from my mistakes, I hope. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Let me know if there's something I could have done to like make the TV work, because I was so desperate to like keep it, because I really did want to sell this to my grandparents at like a really good discount. So I wanted it to work out, but then like I'm also glad it didn't work out, like even in spite of me, because like, you know, God knows better. God knows why he closes some doors, and I'm glad this door closed, but I'm also glad I experienced it and like actively saw for myself that it didn't work out. So the next time it goes on sale, I'm not like the first one buying it, you know? So this roller coaster, it helped me. Hopefully it can help you get some clarity. Yeah, so a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you think. I will see you in my next video.